And we are live. Good morning, everybody, all you beautiful, wonderful people. As of course, usually I don't run behind. It's not been a very good evening. Nobody's feeling good over here. So forgive me ahead of time. We've got to point out that this is only for entertainment purposes. And yes, I'm still going to be here all week. The bar's at my house. What can you say? You don't have to go out. You don't have to mess with police. You don't have to mess with the drunk folk. Don't have a cover. I can drink 1 or 30. It's cool owning your own bar, man. Especially when you think, how many times these people try this anyway? I do. I always get up here and I fidget. So I apologize. I don't know what that is, but I fidget every time I come up. So I tried to pick a few things up this morning. Didn't work. It did not work for them. I did pop in on a year. Well, a year is what I call him. His name is Yair Pinon, and he's the Israeli reporter. He was called up on reservist duty. He served his 3 months and came home to his wife and children. And at that time, he was the reporter also for the troops movement. I don't know how they threw him in there, but he's gotten good at it. And now that he's a civilian once again, and for a while anyway, we don't know. They've got him out doing boots on the ground. They got him up with a new one. And I love it. I mean, he's really great. And he's got cutest little kids, him and his wife. So, we Americans pray. I mean, we do. We don't know what the hell our government's doing. We know they're breaking us. They broke us down probably more like 10 generations. They'll still be paying off just this year's deficit. So they've already, at this point, got 15 different generations ready to go, oh shit, when they find out. Because the grandparents aren't getting nowhere. I'm a grandparent. I got a 25-year-old. He's an Army veteran like I am. That's why he said he wanted to wear grandma's boots. And I looked at those boots and I said, shit. These boys got to raise cards and say, they was tired. Do you know what would have happened to me, even as a first-time female regular Army, if I'd have raised a card to my Vietnam Airborne Ranger boot camp instructor? Yeah, that's what I said. Not a damn thing good would have come out of that. If it ever came out of that, because they drilled so hard because they thought we would quit. Instead, we took all those, we took all the awards. I think Charlie Company got a couple. But you have 5 battalions. I mean, 5 companies to a battalion. So and we were Bravo, their battalion. So, and we just kept getting them, and even the guys at the podium, to give you your stuff and all that. They looked like they were sucking lemons. It was funny as hell. I had a broken leg. They had to carry me up and down the balconies, and it was, bleachers, not balconies, but bleachers. Yeah, that was fun. I didn't mind. It was my CO and XO, which also was frowned upon by the generals who were handing out stuff. But they took care of their soldier, and I more than appreciated that. And the fun stuff was I ended up as already trained. You take 6 to 8 weeks to learn your MOS. MOS just simply means, in civilian terms, this is what your job is going to be. But I already typed well over what I had to. At that point, it was 60 words a minute, and I had trained on a manual. The electric typewriters had just come out, so by that point, I was typing much faster than I did, even in my 20s. And in the event, so I get to be the CEO's secretary as well. He hated typewriters and phones. Oh man! But these guys just wanted to stay in active duty, and they thought, and then when they were asked to do drill, they thought they could save lives. And I think they did. I wasn't in a war. I was in peacetime service. My grandson was has just recently returned. My other grandson on my stepdaughter's side is right now in Korea serving as a medic. He's such a great guy. And my grandson's other half sister, that would be his half brother and half sister, are she's also Army. She's Army Airborne Ranger. Hoo ha! Good girl, baby, go get them. I'd love to see the women go out and realize they could do it if they could do it. Basically, if a man can do it, a woman can do it. She may have to do it harder. She may have to work longer. But if the guy can do it, she can do it. They did manage to learn that those 15-inch strides were hard to do, especially on anyone 5 foot and under. And women could come at 5'2". Child 5'2". God smiled on me. I was going to work at that time, WAC camp, which would have been Women's Auxiliary Corps. And when I landed, I was in fact in I was in South Carolina. I'm like, I was supposed to go Fort McClellan, WAC training. I was like, this in Alabama? Is this a hop? It was, even then, I didn't know what the word was. For me, a hop meant another short flight. But there actually was hops, and I traveled around the world on them for free. Then they kind of on to the fact that the veterans are flying around the world on them for free. I wouldn't let us do it anyway. You're gonna love that shit. But enough about me. Let's just you got a question? Throw in the comments. Come on, guys, come talk to me. Come talk to me. I am posting it on Facebook as well. So I'm hoping, and I didn't have time to check yesterday's. Um, my husband and I have been run ragged, and my husband's not feeling well. I always call him my husband, like y'all know who that is. Robert's not feeling well, and Robert never says anything. If Robert takes a goody powder, I'd have been in the hospital. Because the boy don't. I mean, he don't. He's got a high pain tolerance. We'll put it that way. I don't have any pain tolerance. I'm killing drugs over your drugs. No, I don't play with that pain shit. No, no, no. You got to stop this now. 65. Do you know how much doctors have changed? When I used to put their tests together and grade them on a huge curve, which is a subject for another time if you want to know the story. So basically, I get up here and I talk about what I've seen, what I haven't seen, um, things that have happened before, things that we should talk about. It's social Woodstock. Anything and everything is on the table, except evil. I don't do evil. And I point that out because I see so much evil. You know, you'd think in a lifetime, as long as I've been around, and I've been around the bend, and I've gone through my own foreboded things. I didn't get adopted till I was 9 years old. I was abandoned in an alley in Chicago. Um, the first husband, she shouldn't. I got tricked into marrying. Basically, another long story. Took me firing 3 attorneys, being my own attorney, to get that divorce. With the judge going, "You should be an attorney," and me laughing, going, "No chance." And took a lot of chances, came back, and I'm with the second husband now for coming up on 34 years. So that's lucky duck, isn't he? So yeah, he takes care of my equipment, takes care of my car, and believe it or not, he buys my clothing because when I pick it, it's hideous. It's just scares little kids. I mean, it's terrible. I've never. I mean, I've been a businesswoman all my life, um, and I was poor all my life, poor even as I got older because I've been a child and yada yada. And so yeah. Everything he'll walk into a bloody ass store. I've been looking through 4 of them for 10 days. He'll go to the first one and he will find it 20 feet from the door. It's on sale and it freaking fits. I think it's his specialty. He's really others would call him a MacGyver. I mean, I guess he does stuff like that. And a lady should want to reflect well on her husband, not maybe dress for her husband. Maybe some women would take exception at that. I dress for myself, but I'm not going to embarrass my husband. At 65, hot pants are out, in other words. Well, I'm thinking about it. Now, if hip huggers come back, I could deal with some hip huggers. Now, these skinny pants, and guys, by the way, fire your designers. Go get you somebody else to dress you because skinny pants don't work on 99.9999999% of the males. You look like little chickens running around. Just saying. Gorgeous men don't have the legs for it. Get some bigger pants. It's the same thing when they tie their buckle around their knees. Uh huh. Same effect, guy. Mm. You guys can yell at me too, you know. Still no takers? Okay, well I'm on live chant. This is your shot, okay? You want to throw some shit back? Come on, it's your shot. Anybody got a pair out there? Yeah, that's what I keep finding out. Got the family? No, not behind me. Yeah, well, way behind me, telling me to stop. I think they're 3 counties over by now, but yeah, I get so much encouragement. But I don't have a family. Well, I have a son, and I have a stepdaughter, and I have the grandkids, and my stepdaughter is just as precious and just as deadly. And she's a nurse now, and my son and my daughter-in-law are at the top of their careers on base, heavy-duty security clearances. And they act like I wouldn't understand that. It's so funny. I worked with my ex-mother-in-law, and we put the food stamp program together. As it came out, most of you new girls or boys, whatever, won't remember this, but they came out in booklets, and we tried to make them almost look like money, but not quite. You know what I'm saying? About this, a little bit smaller and colorful, and they were like 150 and 10 and so forth. And that's how we started them, and I was in on the top of that. I was also connected to 3 hospitals in San Antonio, the VA bidding in the middle, of the UT, and then the UT for basic students, medical students. So we wrote, or I say I picked the women myself. No, I don't pick men to type. They're not going to do it. They're just, they're going to ghost in and out checking for new girls. So when I wanted a real job done, I always went to the women. And that we had a deadline to get all of this coordinated between the morgue, neonatal, and the mothers that made it fine, and the children that made it out. We taught the women how to use their glucometers, what their readings were. We made sure they had strips. This was back in the 90s, so it was all very new. And then update the records, and then if we lost one of the babies, which was so horrific, then we would run out to the morgue and grab this. And let me tell you something, folks. The morgue is spooky. I don't give a damn who you are. That sucker's spooky. It was like they had the whole floor turned off. There was one little bitchin' like blinking. I said, morgue. I'll never forget the first time I saw that bitch. I was like, what the? Y'all can't afford. It's 3 hospitals connected. Y'all can't afford a decent light. And there were many times when I came through, and I get my paperwork and all that, and I'd print it out and get ready to take it up to put it in the book. And and it was so bad back in those days. I had ordered the new Dell product. Dell was brand new then, but they had a good IT department, and it was basically unplug that and plug that back in. Shit. Never worked. But there was many times I felt that something was right behind me. And I felt that as a kid. I felt that as I got older. I had to do, people don't believe in these things. I even hesitate to pick up tarot cards or my rune stones anymore, because then my third eye will open like halfway, and I'm busy not working with whoever I'm reading for. And I very rarely do that, but I'm working on closing it. I close it because Well, I was studied at the Parapsychological Institute in Chicago for several years until I kind of set up years. But I had to learn to turn it off because you can see people's auras, and when you can see a person's aura, if they're going to die, say that day in particular, you know it. They don't have an aura. There's a good story about Mr. Casey, Mr. Edgar Casey. They called him the sleeping prophet. If you've never heard of him, get the books. He's got well, he's been gone since 45, but they carried on, and his secretary and his wife at the time did an excellent job. They've got 14,700 and some odd ratings of Mr. Casey. A formidable man, absolutely God fearing, Bible thumping Baptist. I'm talking. I admire him so much. Some of the stuff that he talked about was, in particular, what happens after you die. Do you reincarnate? Do you do this, that, and the other? Now, personally, I'm one of them show me. So when God walks up to me, I'm going to need 3 IDs. I'm just, not that I expect God to walk up. I'm just saying, the boxes are being checked. If you're, I say a biblical studier, but that's not the case either. I've studied the Indian Bhagavad Gitas and so forth. I've studied Nag Hammadi. I've studied the Dead Sea Scrolls. I've studied the Geneva Bible, the King James Bible, the Mormon Bible, the Torah. I could go on. There's just in America. There used to be anyway, 269 different denominations. Well, they hid that shit for a while about those ETs coming down. Yeah, because they knew if there's something else out there, they're just going to lose all that money. When you're an evangelist and you own 2 planes and 14 mansions, don't you at least, can you look in the mirror? I'm just curious. And those that gave all that money to them, so that's what they could do with it. Do you look in the mirror okay? Because I could. There's no, you could, I couldn't have looked in a mirror. I'm going to go off and buy a plane, and yet my constituency is stepping over homeless people. And you've got how many million? Seriously. I think it's Florida that's building the little tiny homes. I mean, they basically don't need anything but a sofa, a chair, a small kitchen, and an upstairs raft bedroom. Yeah, I didn't say furnish it, but sparsely. I didn't say make it into Versailles. I said, that's decent for our homeless. I hear all the time we're billions of dollars are going here, billions of dollars. I sound like Carl Sagan, billions and billions. I hated that. But if they could do that, just make sure the Ukraine's got enough RPGs, whatever. The idea, yes, I agree on supporting that. But they never ask us generally. I mean, it's not a given. And I also actually agree on the support to Ukraine. However, I have a problem with giving $300 trillion to Iran, and that's a subject for another day. But by God, if they can do that, by God, they can do the other. They can put the damn tiny houses up. I don't care where they are. Put up several hundred. There's peach orchards here that have been plowed under. Put you a damn city out there that says, for those of you who don't have jobs or homeless, come over here and live till you can get a job. These are not people, basically, I'll give it 2%, that want to stay in the streets. And in particular, they become addicts. I mean, would you like, come on. They're trying to bury what they feel inside. I'm not a psychiatrist, but it's what I do. So, there's my thing with the church. Organized religion is what I call it, but they kept throwing me out. So I want to keep my sister. So they throw my sister out at the same time. I still think it was funny as hell. They called me a communist. I was like, okay. I knew what a communist was. I was reading college level at 9. These people never read college level at 90. So, I mean, the reason they got rid of me was because I was a smart ass and didn't know when to shut up. So let's see. We've gone through politics, and we've gone through this tiny bit here. The paranormal is another thing that's an absolute. I have to have, and I have several subscriptions, so and they're free. Subscribe, hit my little bell. You will get this free. You don't have to watch it when the bell goes off. It's just telling you that I'm done putting another one in the can and talk too long. So you can catch it later. I do try to put it on Facebook. Those I keep telling you, if you don't have YouTube, go onto YouTube, pull it up, download it, and then put it. It's your Google account. Okay. There she went with one of the knives again. My cat bits my rescue pixie. In any event, if you download it and to say this, that, or the other, you don't have this or that, you go get it. It's basically run off your Google account. So what you want to put in there for a password is your Google password. Then you will have YouTube. It is the free YouTube. Do be careful. Do not pull up a window that says premium YouTube. Just exit out because that's the one you pay for. And if you want to see me, throw it in the search, whoever you want to see. It's just like anything, Netflix, anything else. You throw it in, you know, Lady Hippy at the bar. And there's a reason I'm at the bar. Think about this, guys. Where am I going to find a bar open on the Saturday morning? Yeah, my house. It's my husband's bar, and he's allowing me kindly to actually do some stuff, like my podcast because I can't say he's been doing all this renovating, and now we're in spring. Before it was winter, and it was okay. I got tomorrow off, but it's 16, and it's not snow. When we get to August, it'll be too hot, and so it's just a never-ending thing. But he's been doing the work by himself. And these are not small pieces of furniture at all. They're not cheap. They would have been had I bought them, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But he buys the best, and they last for 8 to 10 years. We've been together over 3 decades. I'm sorry, I'm still squirting her wherever she might be hiding under there. She's about to get a bath. Um, it could be me that gets the bath. Yeah, I end up collecting shit like, get your ass off my bar. Get down from there. Her little head just popped up. What'd you do? I took your ass in the coming up. Well, in any event, I was trying to explain about YouTube. It is free still, guys. Just download that sucker. I know y'all have a Google account because you're on Facebook. You can't get any account unless you're using a Google account. I don't know if Yahoo does it. I've always been on Google. My son set me up. My husband bought the equipment. One of those that I wouldn't do it otherwise, and he decided I would do it. And so bought me started buying me the computers back when it was still AOL. And I've always used them. I've always had to order them and cross my fingers because I'm running the whole show. I'm running 3 hospitals graphic information, plus using data information to, figure out what they had as a test, pass out the test, take it back, and giggle hysterically because I had one in particular. I had a receptionist. There's the story. But only one girl worked with me, and she was going to keep it up with me, and I liked her for that. And nothing we couldn't stop and giggle about because we, both typed so fast that we could stop and the computer could catch up. She wasn't that good, but I was. I mean, you can't type faster than you can read, but she did a good job, and she was always there. And so she was my heavy duty right hand girl, depending what I wanted. I want to taco over down because she could run over and you could get tired. I love breakfast tacos. Get out, rotten. And in any event, or my husband would show up with roses and take me to dinner, and all the nurses and all the doctors knew. And I would come back from lunch, and at least one of the doctors, they would all wander through in the afternoon. Whenever he brought me flowers, 20 doctors would piddle through my tiny little office. Those are pretty. Your husband wrote that. Is it your birthday? And I was like, no, it's just your nosy day. But he's very good about doing that. The other husbands hated him, but he still does do that. I mean, he's a good husband, on Valentine's, my birthday, anniversary, things like that. No, I don't expect roses every day, although he planted a rose garden from me, but I've been too ill in the last few days. Well, I'll be honest, the last 2 years to keep up with it, which broke my heart. I had such beautiful roses, but I could no longer do it, and he wasn't here to do it for me. And he's done the whole downstairs just about. We have to finish the steps and my bedroom. And we chose two different. He's got the man cave, and I put the man. It might as well say this is a um, duplex because it's a whole apartment upstairs. So he doesn't have to run it back. We used to run back and forth, which probably would be good for us back and forth. But now that he's really, really, really retired and isn't home, he has a refrigerator, freezer, microwave, all that, 70-inch screen. So if he doesn't want to leave up there, he don't have to. And as he puts it, I get the rest down here, which I'm not sure who keeps freaking messing up. It's like a tornado runs through here every morning. I get up and I go, oh my God. When I went to bed, it was fine. I can't believe how much time passes so quickly. I had a checklist. I can't remember where I put that. Don't say it. Just, yeah, stop yourself. Don't say it. I might get wind of it. So I'm desperately in the uh, bottom of the bag this morning. I can't figure out who or what I want to talk about. Although I am going to skin a cat and wear it for a hat. Get off my bar. No, that don't work. She's like this one on the computer. Oh, now we have, this is such a great bar. It's got a sink underneath. I want it directly. Get over there. Come on. Get over there, Pixie. Okay, that's it. I warned you yesterday. If I had to stop my podcast and get you, I would. Uh-huh. You better figure that mess out, girlfriend, because I'm about tired. Go on. She needs a towel. I hear a lot of people say that they're not smart too. It just kind of popped in my head that they're not smart because they don't have a degree. Really? I think that's stupid. And I got several degrees. That doesn't make me any smarter. Line on that subject. But with today's stuff, you don't need a damn degree. Go on Google and pull it up and study it. You might need an accelerated course. I might go for one of those. Just get down. Pixie. Pixie. Oh, for the love of my, what have I got in the can? Get down. Oh my God. She will not stop. She will not stop. Now she's playing with my sound system. And right now I only have one sound system hooked up because I haven't got a guest. And I am new at this, so I am the publisher, the editor, the cameraman, the sound man. Same man. Women. It's always men. Yeah, I'm the executive producer. I'm the actress for the front. Damn, I'm good. This one is fun as long as I let her rub her head against my nails. They don't like the nails. Yeah, I like these. These are the metallic. Can you see that? Yeah, they change colors. And there's the kitty. And no, you've got to get down. Jump. Okay, she's gonna jump back. I just know she's going to. I'm trying to think. What was it? I can't remember now where I was. Oh yes, the Fulton trial of Miss Fannie Willis. Oh, what in the heck have I done here? She is a mess. She is an embezzler. She is a thief, and so is he. and they're not going to be in jail at all. She just has to keep him off of her payroll, and she can go and be in the DA. Now, what I want to know is where the millions of dollars came from that she gave this no account lawyer. And I mean no account lawyer nicely. Where's her money? Where did it come from? I'm just saying. Once a thief, always a thief. You think these people didn't steal these funds? Huh. Yeah, I'm not her favorite attorney. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you. Yeah, they stole those funds. And they had two whistleblowers right there in Congress. This shit ain't over. They're trying to take almost $1 trillion for Trump or start taking the 8 properties that he owns that are worth billions. No problem there. We can invent a rule for that shit. Can't do nothing with Hunter, even though first 2016 they had that no account CAD's computer. They had his laptop. They knew his laptop. They knew what was in his laptop. They knew all of it would hang a boat. Did they do something? Think about it. What was 2016? What was it? Hands? No hands? Election year. Sound familiar? Then why are they hopping all of us up to do an election year when it's done before we vote? It's going on right now. They don't step forward and say Trump won South Carolina for no reason. No, he won. So what is it we're voting for in November? Anybody? Yeah, me too. Yeah, I didn't get it either. Why the hell would I stand out in the rain or the cold or the wet? And the cute ones, I think, are the ones with the mega hats or whatever's going on with the pins and the flags and, the iridescent shit that runs through. And the bumper stickers that blast through the car and the home that's got 15 signs. I mean, we know who the freaking hell you're going to vote for, but you pull that curtain and give yourself some privacy. Idiots. Mm-mm. No. One, my vote is private. Two, my vote won't count because, for one thing, if it did count, the 15 million that they threw into dumpsters, and I saw that over 4 or 5 times, and this was not small. This was a truckload size of ballots that were destroyed, and that was in Georgia. It was in Georgia, so it's a possibility that he really did win, and he said so. His problem, as he called Kemp. Kemp is a no account governor. You can't tell he's there. I knew the governor before him. My husband did too, Purdue. Yeah, they weren't bad. They weren't great. I think they invested a lot of money too, but they also have a company, so they could have come by it honestly. Uh, Kemp does so much. He wants to keep his job. He wants to stay governor. I don't understand what happens to these people. I don't understand how people give them supposedly millions of dollars to spend on their campaigns. Now, by millions, I'm assuming they mean the commercials on TV because their staff are 5 of them and they got a mimeograph. I mean, they can't even afford a Xerox. I mean, they're not paid. All of them are there to help, but they're not paid. They're volunteers. So where the hell is that money going? And why the hell are people so stupid that they give it to them? Just, it's like the evangelists. How many planes you got? Okay, you want another one? Let's fill the planes up. Let's fill the plane. Have you ever seen what they call a big church for evangelists? A couple 100,000 in there or whatever. Have you ever seen one? Look it up. Google's got everything. In one night, these people made enough to live for 4 years. Like us, anyway. You can't go out, you can't go to dinner, you can't go out for breakfast, but you can afford to pay your mortgage. And that's us. Because the reason they get to go on their own plane to a 5-star restaurant in Paris is because you idiots keep filling up that little thing they call it tithe. You want to put a tithe out there, and I said it yesterday. Then you give to Caesar what Caesar's, and you give to God what is God's. And trust me, when you give that shit to Caesar's, I don't care which country it is or what state it is, they're not running a soup kitchen. They're not building another place somewhere. We'll have a place to get out of the cold or the heat. No. No, 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 no. They taking that shit by a second airplane. I mean, it's not rocket science. That's a cult. It's not a religion. I've watched Joel Osteen crying and why he can't get it. But he's got to have a second airplane. Him and that other weirdo. That guy's mean. He's evil as can be. I'll give Joel a little credit. He's evil, but he's not technically mean at it. I can't think of the other preacher's name, but he too was getting a second airplane while he was stepping into a nice little air jet. They came up there and they started asking questions. Well, he didn't like the questions. And at one point, I thought he was, and this was a female. At one point, I thought he was going to actually jump on her. I mean, his hands were balled up, and it was just right at her face. And I thought, you coward, if you hit her, I myself will hunt you down. She was a little bit thing, young, probably 19, 20 years old. And she was asking the wrong questions because she was asking the right ones, and it pissed him off. These, get off my other mind. Now she's playing on my other mind. These places aren't there. They're not there to take care of the soul. They're there to take care of the body. Stop paying them. Stop going. Stop paying them. Read the book. Read it yourself. Just read the book. Past the eternity, who got me, got me, got me, got. Okay, I'll give you a good example. Noah is Methuselah's, and then so forth and so on. I think it's 6 or 7 generations. He goes back to Adam. Okay, that's all you need to know. Him and his brother Aaron. Here's a good one for you. You know, Aaron and Abraham, brothers. Yeah, Aaron builds the temple. Well, Abraham built the temple where spot is the place we're going to stop. And Aaron ran the temple, and his tribe were the ones who were the priests. Okay, so where are they at? Nobody knows. Does anybody care? No, not really. Religion is organized religion to most of us, and even that is understating the fact. But you've got people who really, really struggle to understand just what they do know and what has been told to them of said Bible, generally King James. But I advise all of you to go out and, for one, buy the Left Behind series, or at least watch the couple of movies that they've done on them. They're on Netflix. There are 28 books to the Left Behind series, and every one of them are worth every penny you got. So, I mean, and you can get a slightly used one or a gently used one. It's a couple of pennies or $1.50. You pay postage and handling. So if you don't get the new one for $60, you can get one for about $7. And I keep all my hardcover books, but there's never been another set of authors that were as good as these two men about talking about the chapter of Revelation in the Bible. It's a fascinating, joyful ride that they can't even put on the screen, but they do a good job of it. The very first book, The Left Behind, it starts with Left Behind, the rapture is whatnot. I was raised Catholic, was thrown out of a bunch of churches, called a communist. Poor sister friend of mine, and my friends if they went, but my sister definitely went, and she got thrown out with me. So pretty soon, Mom wouldn't come pick us up and just walk home, and finally, it was the mother who said, "Do not go back to church till you're older." But yeah, so read up, learn for yourself. Don't trust anything and everything you see, hear, and read. It's the who, what, when, where, why syndrome. Look for those questions: who, what, when, where, why. Write them down. Who, what, when, where, why. And when you find who, you write it down. And when you what, and suddenly it's starting to be a little clearer. But always check yourself. Always check whoever's telling you all this crap. I mean, it's a cult. The only thing missing is Jim Jones and Kool-Aid. Serious to God. I watched one the other day. I was waiting for him to bring out the vats of Kool-Aid. I was just, you can't make this stuff up. When they asked Joel Osteen why he needed two planes, and he's over there crying because people are, please. I was not impressed. I'm never going to be impressed by those people. I'm not impressed by any church. I argue with the bishops and cardinals and senators and congress people, men and women, yes. I had many of them tell me to leave the state because they were going to be shot, which is probably true. Because I don't pull no punches. You put your pant legs on the same as I do, one at a time. That doesn't make you any better than me. I had a lot of people, mom, bitch, right, because they didn't get a sheepskin. You don't need it. You don't need it. You want to know with today's technology? Put it in Google and study it. It's not hard. I could become a lawyer if I took 2 weeks to actually study the law. That's it. I could go and sit and take the bar after 2 weeks. Now, if an old lady could do that, what could you do? In a lifetime. A lifetime. These kids have a lifetime. They're doing this with the phone, or they're doing this with the pad. Well, hopefully, help to God that they're learning something from it. But every time I see one of them, they playing the game. They're rude. I mean, they're rude up in your face because they're playing the game. It's Christmas Day. You're there to open gifts and give them gifts, and it. My grandson's 25, and he knows. When Grandma gets that mad face, he will hide his because I'm like, open that thing again. I'm of the old school. I mean, you don't do that. It's rude. It's disrespectful. And I don't like being treated rudely, and I don't like being treated disrespectfully. And I sure as heck am gonna stop it. The minute they start it, they don't like it. I don't care. I don't care. Mm. So what kind of politics, religion? Catherine, I've been so excited I almost forgot. Our Duchess Catherine, well, you may not be like me, but William and Catherine have always meant a lot to me. I followed the boys since before they were born because I loved Princess Diana. There's a lot I could say on Princess Diana, but may she rest in peace. Beautiful woman, was done wrong for a long time. And I'm one of those conspiracy theorists that think that she didn't die in just a car accident. She said a week before her death they were going to try to kill her by using a car accident. She died in a car accident a week later. Now, I've watched the voice literally since she stepped out of the door. So I fell in love with those boys like they were my own. And they're not much either young. They're a little bit younger than my kids, but not by much. And so I watched and watched. I cried for weeks when they killed her. And you can take it off the air if you want to, YouTube, but we're allowed our opinions. And there's no way it should have taken several hours to get her out of that car and to a hospital that was just a mile or so away. And yet it took them hours. She died at the hospital. She died at the hospital. She should never have. What were they doing for those hours? You could see the hospital. If you look at all the vintage they have, you can see I could have walked her there in a wounded man's carry in 13 seconds. I mean, it was that close. But we can't go through that. But my Catherine, and she's one of the most classiest, beautiful ladies I have seen in many a year. And no, I'm an American first and foremost. But you still have to recognize style and class when they got it. Girlfriend got it spades and shared it. And now, and I cried half the night. She did come out because she understood that people just wanted to see proof of life. We were scared to death. We were getting rumor mill control everywhere. She's dead. He's leaving her for another woman. Kind of crap, all that. And showing some other woman. I couldn't believe for a second that he wouldn't have left Catherine for this cow face. In any event, I just wanted to see my cat. And God bless her. She came out yesterday. Nice little sweater. I showed her from here up. You could see she's been ill. She's fighting whatever it is with everything she's got. And I knew before she said it that she had cancer. And she was undergoing chemo. And I was screaming at the TV, stop the chemo, stop the chemo, stop the chemo. Well, the abdominal surgery they did was because they thought they just were going to remove some tissue that had a chance of becoming cancerous. Unfortunately, when they did remove it, it was already cancerous. Now, I know quite a bit about medicine, so I cried most of the night. I and seeing how emaciated she was. She wasn't much, she's like me, tiny little thing. She's tall and statuesque, and she can make anything look good. Beautiful woman, so classy. And it just broke my heart that she might not get to see her kids grow up, you know? And her mother in law didn't get to see her kids grow up. So I'm praying for Catherine, and I ask that everybody else do the same, and that we all leave her alone while she fights this battle and wins it. And now I think I've caught up on current events. Um, Once again, I'm thinking about dropping it, but again, this is a process. If somebody used me and dropped me into, say, a video of something, don't ask Karen, I don't know. But if they do that without my permission, then I can't sue because they're using my image. And this is what I want to avoid. So, again, timing's everything. I've got to have a certain amount on my algorithms. So please, please, please hit the like, hit the subscribe for me, even if you don't watch it. I would really appreciate it if you watch it just a little bit because I'd like some feedback here. I can't be right all the time. I once thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken. Let's see. Coming up on my timer, I'm trying not to do a whole hour today. I'm trying to cut it back. I think that's all I got really for today, other than the paranormal streak that I saw yesterday was so awesome. Whoa. So people are getting some massive shit here. I'm telling you, these new toys that they've got now are, oh God, I wish I'd have had one. I could get around better and do more ghost hunting. Now I kind of have to live vicariously through the young ones who are running around, but I'm good with that. Paranormal, like I said, Twin Paranormal, they're good. Casper site, he just reacts, but he's got good stuff. King Frostmere, he's good. Yeah, I like him. Who was the other ones? There's so many that are very good. Tim Morozov and Dennis are Dark Ghost. Those two are my top two. And then Slam Tam is my third, and then I'm down. So if you want to do anything paranormal, we'll talk about paranormal. We'll, throw it in the comments. I'll get back to you. Um, but again, if you don't do anything else, hit the like button. I don't care if you listened for 30 seconds and hated it. Hit the damn like. I need somebody up here at the bar to give me a hand. I can't think, like I said, I can't think of anything else. Mm, Too many other things are running through my head. Babies found dead, killed by their parents in horrific ways. And this is every day. This is every day. I hear this. Take the terrorists, hide them out in the Sharifa hospital, and fight with RPGs from under the hospital behind the Palestinian patients. When I saw the camel floating by and he was on the Sahara Desert in front of Dubai, I said, okay, this is biblical. And we might as well. Some of these people want to go to their underground shelters. I'm just hoping God will take me faster. I don't want the shelter. That duck and cover shit. And that I don't think it'll be that kind of war anyway. I think they'll do biohazard war. That's what Wuhan was all about. The Chinese virus. I'm with the ex-president on that. It's the Chinese virus. They knew how many they could kill. They decimated Europe. And I do mean at least 3 out of every 10 were killed. They died. It wasn't so virulent when it got to us. Plus, Donald Trump shut us down for 2 months. Well, when Donald Trump wanted to let the country come back out of it, they have Fauci in the way. And we won't go there because that's one mitigating idiot that's mm, also should be tried for treason. Most definitely should be tried for treason. So there are those two if anybody wants to talk about those or find out what's going on with those. Again, I did touch on politics for a second. Don't like it. Ain't gonna ever. But I skimmed through it. The only thing right now that I'm kind of keeping a tab on would be the Ukraine and Israel. The rest, I haven't been catching up. I did see that Iceland had the volcano go off again. It was still going off when I went to bed last night. So they need help if anyone can help them. You can't stop a volcano, so I know it was about to take the island of Iceland, and Iceland is only an island, and it had cut, I think, a quarter of it off completely because it was all lava. So prayers for them as well. We're coming up on Easter, so that'll be great for everybody. Me too, because I don't have to hide eggs anymore. What are you chewing on? This cat is so crazy. Hey, what are you chewing on? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. I had to go be gangsta mama kitty. Okay. This little thing's what she was doing. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, that's a watch battery. Yeah, lithium. And lithium is an incredibly poisonous thing. Luckily, I saw her get that, so I will do something with it. I don't know where it came from. These guys are like 2-year-olds. They find them. Now I've dropped it. Dropped it. Okay. You guys have listened to the Silly Goose for long enough today. Like, tickle the bell, do something in there. Get up, do something. Come on. I don't want to hear that I can't get YouTube. You can get YouTube, download it, enter a password, which is the same as your Google account. Just follow the prompts. They'll tell you if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it on your TVs, do it on your tablet or your Chromebook or your laptop or your phone. I mean, pick one. I have all of them linked together anyway, so it doesn't really matter on my end. I've gotten a few that I've had to answer. If there are any of you out there that have, something you'd like me to follow or drop some videos on, let me know and I will get back to you. I am checking on those right now. I have been for 2 days, and I was right. There is some things you have to go through. You can't just grab people's stuff. I think you can on maybe Instagram. But I don't do them. I use YouTube. So I guess in this case, the cat's now asleep on my paperwork. Somebody. Okay. I guess I better go get this mess cleaned up. So, toodles.